you're looking to pick yourself up some cheap and reliable coins for FUT 21, then make sure to click my link in the description, go to IG Vault, and make sure you use my code Birdie when you're at checkout to get yourself a discount. Hey guys, it's Scott here, and welcome to today's player review video. This is looking at the FUT Birthday Lucas. Really hope that you do enjoy this one. If you do, please do hit the thumbs up button down below, as it does help out the channel. Subscribe if you want to see more videos and live streams, including more player reviews. Also, who do you want to see next? Leave it in the comment section down below, ideally a FUT Birthday player. And if you do want to go and get yourself some coins, as I said in the intro, you can go and check out IG Vault. The link is in the description, because some of these players that we're looking at are very expensive. Now today, we've got the new FUT Birthday Cam, Lucas Moura. He's got 5-star skills and 4-star weak foot. As you can see from his in-games right here, he looks pretty damn good. He also looks like he fits the meta as well, which is obviously something very important when it comes to trying out new players in the game. Some players will have good stats, but you know, because of their body type, their height, some in-game stats, they won't play that well. But Lucas looked very good off the bat. He also has the flare trait as well. Unfortunately, no outside the boot shot or finesse shot or something like that, but flare obviously makes him a lot of fun to use. This is the team that we're going to be using him in. We're going to start in this formation, then we're going to switch in-game to a 4-1-2-1-2. I'll show you the in-game in a second. If you know how I play, I love skill moves, and so this kind of player is someone that instantly I was interested in and I really wanted to check out. If you are not as obsessed with skill moves, then obviously this style of review may focus a little bit more on that than you may be interested in. But without further ado, let's get into the first bits of gameplay with this Lucas Moura. So here we go. This card is interesting, and that's the word that I'm going to use to sum him up, because there are some stats that look amazing on his in-games, but they don't feel that good, yet other stats feel better than they look. It's a bizarre card, but he's coming in at over 1 million coins, and so it is quite expensive. Now, the best things about him, his skill moves, his dribbling, and his pace, okay? We're going to take a deep dive into each of these, but those are the best quick summary looks at this Lucas Moura. First up, his pace. It's odd. Sometimes he feels very, very quick, and other times he feels catchable by players that shouldn't be able to catch him. In terms of his physicals, he's got decent stamina and decent aggression, especially if you're using him as a striker or cam. I'd say it's good. Now we move on to his shooting. Now, I scored a lot of goals with this Lucas Moura. I believe I played 5 games of FUT Champs with him, and I scored 15 goals. Quite a range of goals here that you're going to see. Free kicks, penalties, normal shots from inside the box. However, as you'll see from a couple of the clips that I'm going to chuck in here, he didn't finish everything. And this was even with a chem style boosting up his shooting and his finishing up to like the high 90s. So that was one thing I'd potentially be wary about with this card. He didn't feel perfect. There are some players that you will go in, like a prime icon moments Van Basten or something like that. They seem to finish everything. This Lucas felt quite consistent, but the odd shot was a little bit odd. Now, one great thing about him in terms of his shooting is his attacking positioning, especially if you have a chem style with him. Now, if you combine that with his agility, his acceleration, if you do 1-2 passes, he'll get in some really good positions. And I believe you'll see some in these clips where I literally do 1-1-2 and then bang, run the box, and we've scored a goal. He obviously has skill moves and really good dribbling, which means that some of the goals that you're going to see are because he's done a 5-star skill move past a player, got himself into a great space in the box to bang it in the back of the net. And again, that is the way that I play the game. If you don't utilize skill moves as much as me, which probably a lot of you don't, he is still good at shooting, but definitely try and get as good at skills as possible, because that is when a player like this is going to feel really, really good. You will see so many skill moves involved in these goals because it just creates the space, whether you're going around defenders, going around the goalkeeper, and it makes scoring goals easier. And I feel like if you're not going to utilize that part of the card, he probably won't be as worth it for you. But this is the way that I play. We're doing rainbow flicks past Kante and then banging it in the back of the net. It's a lot of fun, this card. His passing, I used him as a striker. Obviously, he comes out of packs as cam, but I feel like because of the way this game plays and his stats, he suits a striker role much more than a centre attacking mid role. His passing was good, but not spectacular. It was okay. I personally used a Deadeye because I believe that you need to boost up his passing with a chem style, because I'm a sucker for having high passing stats even at striker, but pretty good. And also his free kicks with this kind of chem style on it, you saw me score a couple of them in the shooting section, are pretty good. So not the best, but very, very decent and will do a good job. Now his dribbling, obviously for me, really, really good. 97 agility, 96 balance, 5-star skill moves. Basically all that you can ask for from me. However, his reactions and composure, I feel like I could feel them a little bit. Because there were times, especially in some of the laggier games, which obviously happens in FIFA a lot of the time, not every single game is going to feel perfect, he felt a little bit heavy. Now, again, a lot of that is most likely down to the connection in the gameplay, but a lot of you are not going to have gigabyte internet where you have no button delay. So I want to try and make you understand that in those slower games, despite him having the best stats near enough possible, there will be times where he feels a little bit delayed and slow. But in general, really, really tight ball control. His skill moves feel smooth, as you will see from this last goal. To sum it up, this is Lucas Moura in a nutshell. Don't look at my face, look at the gameplay. He's a baller. Really, really fun card to use, and I would highly recommend trying him out if you can. We're now going to get into some alternative prices and the final part of the review. So, alternatives, here we go. We've got Lucas coming in at 1 million coins on Xbox and a little bit more on PlayStation. Now, if you're looking for a Premier League cam with 5-star skills, you have a couple of options. Ziyech is your sort of really, really cheap option, coming in at less than 100,000 coins, has a worse weak foot than Lucas, obviously has harder links to get with being Moroccan rather than Brazilian. Erdegaard is a little bit closer to Lucas. He's coming in at about 500,000, and that card has been boosted. He is a What If Plus card, and that's a really, really smooth card. He has much better passing, and I feel like that's more of a cam, whereas if you are playing Lucas as a striker, you're going to look at slightly different players. Kaká is the icon equivalent that's coming in at basically the same price as Lucas, with 5-star, 4-star as well, which was pretty surprising to see that their prices were so close. Now, in terms of the final review, you saw my ratings on the left-hand side as we were going through. Pros and cons for this card is passing, it's passable. Shooting, it's pretty good, but again, you saw some of those shots that didn't go in that you would probably expect to. He does feel really quick most of the time. His dribbling is fantastic, again, most of the time. 5-star skills feel incredibly smooth, and that is because of that agility, balance, acceleration combination with the skill moves. His attacking positioning, I found really, really good. So even if his finishing was a little bit off at times, he would get into the right positions. And so if you use 1-2 passes, that's a really, really good way to utilize his pace and that attacking positioning stat. His feet are great, is the last one that I put on here, because again, his dribbling is clean. And if you know how to play this game in tight spaces, Lucas is a player that you can utilize very, very well. In terms of his cons, I'd say physical, purely because, hey, he's not got 99 physical. And so even though you don't really need it on this kind of player, it is still a con because some people would want better stamina or better aggression. And again, his shooting wasn't perfect. We move on to the final part, which is recommendations for this card. I would say Deadeye. You could go with a finisher if you wanted to give a slight more boost to his finishing and slightly boost up his dribbling, even though it's basically maxed out. You don't get the right stats boosts on a finisher for me, which is why I switched to Deadeye. I wanted to try and get that short passing up as well, which never failed me really. Long passing, again, not the greatest but not the worst, but with that short passing with a Deadeye, felt clean. So in terms of the playstyle, we've been over this a couple of times. Utilize that pace and the 5-star skills. His dribbling speed is fantastic. He's one of those players that a lot of the time when he's sprinting, he does actually feel in control of the ball. There are some people that have 99 pace, but when you're sprinting with them, you feel like you have no control. Every touch is super heavy. I didn't feel that with Lucas Moura here. 1-2 runs, They are the best way to use this card in combination with skill moves, 100%. Bang some shots in, you saw me score a load of different types of goals with this Moura. Again, free kicks, outside the box, inside the box, rainbow flick volleys, the lot. And don't try and use him as a physical player. Strong links, you've obviously got Brazilians in the Prem, Richarlison, Jesus, you got Spurs players, Bergwijn, Kane, Son, and then obviously Brazilian icon. So not bad. I would recommend this Lucas Moura. Let me know if you've used him, if you enjoyed him, and I will see you guys for another one soon. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.